Welcome back. Alright y'all, so today I wanted to get into a 30 team video, 30 teams, 30 player video. The first one on this channel, really making it to inaugural episode, inaugural appearance. For the 30 team, 30 player video, I could have more of these scattered throughout the season. Today we're going to be focusing on 30 new players, on 30 new teams. Now some of these guys could be rookies that were in the organization, are now in the big leagues this year, or guys that were on a different team last year to a different team this year. Some of these guys may fly under the radar. You may not know of any of these players. Some of them you might. So it's really just a culmination of different players that I want to spotlight and showcase here that you may not know of, that are having good seasons in their first year with their new team. So we will go alphabetically in reverse. So we're going to start with Washington and work our way back to Anaheim. Leading off for Washington, so I went down every single team. I said, okay, which players have impressed me, which players are doing good. And for the Nationals, it was Dom Smith. Dom Smith, of course, the longtime Met, now in DC, and he's having a good year. He's hitting .277 for the Nationals. He's fitting nicely. Again, I think the Nationals rebuild is going well. For the Blue Jays, I had Kevin Kiermaier. I mean, it has to be Kevin Kiermaier. He, a longtime Ray, staying in division as well, going to north of the border in Toronto, and he's just been a seamless fit, it seems like, in Toronto, hitting .312 this year for the Blue Jays. For the Rangers, this one was pretty easy as well. Nathan Eovaldi, the ex-Dodger, ex-Boston Red Sox, signed with Texas this year, and unlike Jacob deGrom, is staying healthy and is putting up good numbers, has a 2.60 ERA. Good stuff for the Rangers. For the Rays, Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin has a 1.02 whip. The Rays signed Eflin to their largest contract in team history. Is questionable to this day. For St. Louis, the Cardinals were one of the tougher teams to pick a player because there's not really anybody new that is doing really well per se. But Oscar Mercado was just called up about 10 days ago against the Dodgers, or a week ago now. He's hitting .375. Seattle, Bryce Miller. Now, Bryce Miller has been making waves in the baseball world. Bryce Miller, if you don't know who Bryce Miller is, you should get to know him. Lights out young rookie pitcher for the Mariners who has just been on fire. Bryce Miller this year, 28 Ks in 5 games. For the San Francisco Giants, I went with Michael Conforto. Of course, Conforto, the longtime Met, took a year off last year. I think he was injured, wanted to heal his body up. He signed with the Giants in the offseason. So far, has 11 home runs, leading the team in homers with the Giants. For San Diego, I went with Michael Wacha. I could have gone Ridley or Odor. I went with Michael Wacha because he's been there since the beginning and he's been really good for the Padres this year. 1.15 whip. He's been really solid for the Padres in the middle of the rotation. For Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen, a reunion in Pittsburgh. It seemed to fit him well. Right back home in Pittsburgh, where he belongs, really. He's going to be a Pirate, a Ring of Honor. McCutchen, 829 OPS on the year. For Philadelphia, I went with Matt Strom from Strom Stadium Pools. He has a .99 whip. He's done really well with Philadelphia, kind of a bullpen guy, a long guy when they need him to start games. So he's been really good for the Phillies. For Oakland was pretty easy for me. It's Esteury Ruiz. I saw the A's play this year in Anaheim, and Esteury Ruiz immediately just shined for me. He was the guy to watch on the field for Athletics. New York Yankees, Ian Hamilton, kind of was the spotlight guy for me, has a 1.23 ERA. Currently on the IL though, so should be making his way back. Ian Hamilton, keep an eye on Ian Hamilton the rest of the year. Bullpen piece for the Yankees. For the New York Mets, it was Kodai Senga for me. Kodai Senga, 61 strikeouts, of course, coming over from overseas, and he's pretty good for the Mets so far. Middle rotation guy, one of the younger pitchers in the Mets rotation. For the Minnesota Twins, I went with Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo, of course, with the Yankees last year, with the Dodgers last year. I think a big market team is in Joey Gallo's future. I think he is right at home in Minnesota, a small market team, 11 homers. For the Milwaukee Brewers, I went with Brian Anderson. Brian Anderson, the longtime Marlin, now in Milwaukee. 28 RBIs for Brian Anderson. I thought he's done really well for the Brewers this season. The Miami Marlins, Luis Ariz. It has to be Luis Ariz. This guy is 372 average. We're at about hit Memorial Day. 372 average on Memorial Day is insane. This guy's a modern day, Ted Williams. I really appreciate Luis Ariz while he is here. Los Angeles Dodgers, my team. I went with JD Martinez. That was a clear and obvious answer to me. JD Martinez has done really well for the Dodgers. He has 9 homers on the year for LA, and batting in the 3-4-5 hole for the Dodgers. he has done really, really well. For the Kansas City Royals, I went with Aroldis Chapman. With the Yankees for a while there. He's getting really toxic in New York. Went out to Kansas City. He's probably going to be a trade deadline piece for the Royals, posting 31 Ks in 20 innings. For the Houston Astros, the Astros were one of the tougher teams as well to come up with a player that is new and done really well. I decided to go with JP France. Of course, Luis Garcia, unfortunately, getting Tommy John surgery. So JP France stepping in. He's done pretty well for the Astros. 18 strikeouts in 31 innings. The Detroit Tigers, Zach McKinstry. You know, I saw Zach McKinstry the other day with the Tigers. I'm like, okay, that's nice. Playing really well for the Tigers. Seems like he's found a home there in Detroit. That's a nice ballpark for him. He has 7 stolen bases on the year for the Tigers. Zach McKinstry, 274 average, coming into an everyday player. The Rockies, I went with Brent Suter. Brent Suter, of course, the longtime Brewer. The .87 ERA for the Rockies this year, so he's been really solid out of the bullpen in Colorado. Guardians, I went with Tanner Bibby. Tanner Bibby, 25 Ks in 28 innings for the Guardians. You know, another rookie pitcher, and he's done really well for Cleveland this season. For the Cincinnati Reds, I went with Ben Lively, 18 Ks in 17 innings. I hope I said that correct. Ben Lively. I apologize in advance, but you are making the channel. Ben Lively of the Cincinnati Reds, bullpen guy, 18 Ks in 17 innings. Chicago White Sox, Andrew Benintendi, of course. Benintendi signed it, you know, pretty good deal there with the White Sox over the offseason. And so far, he's living up to it. He actually is living up to it, posting a 275 average, right where you want to see him be if you're the White Sox. The Cubs, this one was pretty easy. It's Cody Bellinger. It broke my heart to see Bellinger walk. It's really unfortunate for Bellinger. He has an 850 OPS. Cody Bellinger, wish him nothing but the best, and he should be an all-star this year for the Cubs, so go vote for Cody Bellinger. For the Boston Red Sox, it was Masataka Yoshida, again, another guy from overseas, 293 average, you know, hitting with the Red Sox, top of the lineup for the Red Sox. Some of these guys that come overseas, they can do well. Some of them don't do well. Baltimore Orioles, this one was a tough one for me to come up with somebody on Baltimore. I came up with Danny Colombe. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce his name as well. Danny Colombe, I'm getting to know these guys as well, just like you. Orioles, 27 Ks in 18 innings. The Atlanta Braves, I decided to go with Sean Murphy. Of course, Sean Murphy and Travis d'Arnaud are splitting time there in Atlanta, but Sean Murphy coming over from Oakland in the offseason, 274 average for the Braves. For Arizona, I went with Lourdes Gurriel, traded from Toronto over to Arizona, and he's just been a perfect fit, it seems like, in Arizona, posting a 941 OPS for the D-backs. So Gurriel has been one of their top players for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Anaheim Angels and Gio Urshela. For the Angels, he's hitting 308 at the recording of this, 308 for the Angels, so he's been really nice fit there for the Angels, and that's going to do it. That is going to do it. That's 30 players and 30 teams. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. With that being said, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys again next time.